humans are expected to just keep going and to just not stop and hibernate ever. Hey, it's Mari, and I was not going to film the video today, but then I started feeling inspired, so here we are. My first tip would be to keep getting ready in the morning. I don't know about you guys, when the pandemic started, I stopped wearing makeup, and that's like all great. My skin was probably really happy about it, but once winter came and I started to feel even more ugly every single day, I was like, you know what, maybe I should give makeup another chance. And I really felt my self-confidence go up. I don't know if you should like rely on makeup to make you feel better, but in the winter, I genuinely feel so much more ugly than I do for the whole rest of the year. Something about just how the air dries out your skin, like you're not getting vitamin D, so you're depressed and you just like feel so ugly all the time. So sometimes makeup is definitely a good thing, just like boost your confidence a little bit. Tip number 2, don't be afraid to stay in bed as long as possible on the days that you can. This can be dangerous if you are somebody who is experiencing seasonal depression, but it can also be healthy because personally, I always feel bad about myself if I spend a day in bed or a day just doing nothing. But I think those days are so important, and it's so important to not feel bad about doing that, especially when you're living through the winter. The best way I can think to explain it is in the winter, bears hibernate, bunnies, they come out of their holes sometimes, but they sleep a lot more often. Squirrels hibernate, all these animals are like in hibernation, but for some reason, humans are expected to just keep going and to just not stop and hibernate ever. When really, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the perfect time to hibernate to me. So on your weekends or whatever days off that you have, just cozy up in bed, make sure to eat. If you need to eat, this brings me to my third tip, soup. Okay, soup. Sometimes in the winter, I have like no appetite because I'm just sitting in my bed all day and I'm like, I am not hungry, like I'm not doing anything. What's driving me to be hungry? But guess what? Your body still needs food. So my solution is if you're not hungry and you need to eat and you're like, nothing sounds good, or the only things that sound good are like candy, just go into the store and buying like stock up on those soup cans, try new kinds, all different brands, make homemade soup if you're into that. I've made a few homemade soups this winter and it's been a fun activity to get me out of bed and delicious. Long story short, stock up on soup, look up good soup recipes, and let soup get you through the winter. There's just nothing that's easier to eat. You can basically drink it. All right, tip number 4. Avoid going outside when it is so cold. It's just not something that you really need to experience if you're not in a good place. So I would definitely recommend only going outside when you absolutely need to. If you're a nature freak and you are somewhere with like woods, it could be beneficial for you to like bundle the fuck up and put on like 5 layers, a scarf, a hat, face mask, you know, multiple layers of pants, your warmest socks and boots, and then like go trek in the woods, sit under a tree and like be with the squirrels and stuff. That could be something I could see benefiting some people, like trying to see the positive in being outside in winter. But personally, I prefer to avoid even looking outdoors unless it's pretty. Okay, it's pretty when it snows. Anyway, so avoiding going outside unless you are bundled the fuck up, and or if you have to go outside, of course, like you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Okay, layers. This ties into my previous point. I used to suffer a lot more than I do now because I would go outside and try to like pretend that it wasn't winter. The more layers you have, the easier your life's gonna be. You're gonna stay way warmer. Okay, next point is tea 24/7, okay? I wake up, I make a glass of tea. In the afternoon, around noon, I make a glass of tea. I probably have on average like 3 cups of tea per day. Some days it's 5, some days it's 1. The air is just so dry in the winter and you're cold, like I've mentioned a lot in this video already. So tea is kind of just a nice comforting thing to like warm you from the inside out. Don't be afraid of moisturizer. That's all I have to say. Okay, I have 2 more tips left. The next one is to buy a happy lamp. A happy lamp, I'll put one on the screen, is this amazing device that mimics the sunlight outside. And people also take vitamin D a lot if you're moving somewhere in the winter, just because you're outside so much less and the sun is away so much more. So you oftentimes need a vitamin D supplement just during the winter months. This happy lamp is just a great thing if you experience seasonal depression on those days where you have a hard time getting out of bed and you need to. You can just turn it on right in the morning to kind of it tricks your body into thinking that it's the sunlight. So that's a really nice thing, specifically for people that struggle with seasonal depression. And my last tip. So I know I said it's okay to hibernate and it's okay to stay in bed. It's actually probably really good for you, okay? Quite necessary to stay in bed. But on other days when you know you're like, okay, hibernating has been fun and all, but I've been doing it a lot and I just feel like shit and I feel ugly and I need to do something, don't forget that you have friends. You probably have a friend. You can look up, just go onto YouTube and look up a little workout video. There's 5-minute ones. I'll do literally like 5-minute workout videos just to get myself going sometimes. Every time I finally force myself to do something with a friend, like go on a walk, that's where I was going with the friend thing, or just doing a short YouTube video workout, surprise, surprise, that never fails to like rejuvenate yourself, make you feel a little more strong, a little more powerful, a little more alive. Just do all the things that nurture yourself and warm you, and just don't forget that you're loved all winter because it's so sad. Don't forget to take care of yourself. I think that's all I have to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching to this point. I really hate winter, so if I've survived 21 years of it here, I think you can do it too. Okay, that's all. Bye.